We back at it. What's going on with this site? Why is it so dark? Yeah, we have some technical difficulties here. There it go. There it go. There it go. Okay, maybe not. Okay. And I don't know why it's looking dark, man. I don't know what the fuck going on. The camera's fucked up, so. Man, we're about to start rocking and rolling, man. I hope it's try that. I don't know, y'all, but we about to ride, man. Look, Spence versus Crawford. Keith Thurman. All this WBC talk about Keith Thurman is the #1 mandatory and all this kind of crap. Look, Errol Spence already said it. I ain't fighting you. I'm not giving you a chance. In case y'all don't know, y'all don't remember when Keith Thurman was champion and Errol Spence was trying to get that fight. And pretty much Keith Thurman blew him off. Like, get the hell up out of here. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Plucked him off. And now, the Spence's, you know what I'm saying, one of the big dogs at the top of the game, he got the belts, he got the pull, he got the power. He ain't trying to push for that fight. And I believe, because a lot of people was like, when he dropped that cryptic tweet, like, you know what I'm saying, when I meant it, yada, yada, yada. Like, that's what he was talking about. He was talking about Keith Thurman, basically letting Keith Thurman know, like, look, you ain't getting the shot, man. You know what I'm saying? So Spence versus Crawford is still very much on. That fight is still in the talks. They're still talking about it. That fight still will be made. Look, man, it's a lot on the line. Sean Porter, he pretty much, he spoke about it himself. He said, you know what? Like, it's a lot on the line in this fight, man. So therefore, y'all gonna have to be patient. And when the fight is ready to be, talked about or dropped or whatever, then we gonna know what's going on. And that's just how it is, man. So Spence versus Crawford is still gonna happen. Still potentially the biggest fight in boxing. I think it is the biggest fight in boxing, most certainly in the last decade. So in case y'all, or when y'all check this stream out, man, I'm gonna need y'all to do a brother a great favor, man. I'm gonna need y'all to smash that like button, because we're trying to get the algorithm up. So once I start doing more lives, automatically, like, YouTube will start pushing it out so more people can view it and everything. Because like right now, it's just be streaming the video, which is okay, because that saves me time. I ain't got to edit, going to the studio and edit a whole lot of stuff. I can just, pretty much just pick up the phone, do a thumbnail, and just go straight live to the people. And I want to start doing that, you know what I mean? Start to get more comfortable doing the lives, because that just was my thing. Doing long form content, doing short content, that was pretty much my thing. And because like when the channel got hacked and got jacked up, that messed my long form content up. And in case y'all don't know that terminology, that's like doing a regular YouTube video, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. And then I started doing YouTube Shorts, and YouTube Shorts started treating me, very well. They started doing pretty good numbers. So salute, shout out to you guys supporting my short form content. Still the king of shorts. Ain't nobody shorts be looking better than mine. Yes, I said it. They be trying to steal your boy's style, you know what I mean, how I do things. But guess what? They ain't been able to bite my short form content style yet. Cause I got about 3 or 4 of them, different formats of how I bring my shorts out. But Spence versus Crawford, man, that's going to be a fantastic fight. Both of these guys are, I don't know, because between Crawford, man, and between Spence, honestly, I don't know, man. Like I'm telling y'all, man, like I'm leaning towards Bud, man. It's just something about, I know Spence is dangerous. He's a vicious body puncher, has a fantastic jab, has power. He's the bigger guy. Defensively, he's been underrated. He parries punches very well off of the gloves. A lot of people don't see and notice that about Errol's style, especially defensively. But that's one of the things that I see that Errol Spence does it's overlooked. Errol Spence is a very good parrying puncher. That's why he can stand in front of somebody, and he can go to work. But at the same time too, I think sometimes people get gun shy and they get in front of Errol, and then they know that body attack is coming, so they kind of it's like a deer with the headlights. They freeze up. And Errol Spence, he takes advantage of it. He goes to work. But Bud is not going to sit there in front of Errol and just let Errol Spence tee off on him. That is the biggest, factor for me in that fight. Errol just ain't going to let him do it. Bud is not going to let him do it. But just real quick, too, Danny Garcia and Jose Benavidez. Look, man, I'm telling y'all, I made a short about it. I ain't dropping shit, but I can give you the gist of what I said in the short. Now, Danny Garcia, I believe he will hurt Jose Benavidez second round. The second round, the 5th round, and between the 6th round and the 9th round, I believe he will get knocked out or stopped. I could be wrong. I ain't no Swami. Definitely ain't got no Swami hat on. This ain't no Lord of the Rings magic moment. You know what I mean? That's just what I feel. Now, I could be totally wrong, or I could be totally right. But the reason why I say that is because Danny Garcia, he adjusted to the weight real good. Danny Garcia came to 154 from 147. He put the weight on very well. He said it himself, like he walks around at 154 or higher, naturally. Jose Benavidez, like I said, after being shot, we seen it in the Terence Crawford fight, his mobility. But I will give him this. Like, since he been fighting, when he was training, he had no brace on. But his mobility didn't look the same. He was doing a lot of upper body movement. He was dipping. He was slipping side to side. I will give him that. But you ain't Canelo. And Danny Garcia, he's a better boxer than Jose Benavidez. And that left hook that Jose Benavidez says that he's not worried about, he's lying. If he thinks that he can get away from Danny Garcia left hook, he will get knocked out early. So be real, but just don't be arrogant. You know what I mean? Like, because like the mean mugs he was doing, like looking at Danny Garcia doing the stare down, like, come on, man, this is boxing. You know what I mean? Like, that's not going to intimidate nobody. But once you get into the ring, that's what everybody's going to be looking for. Now, will Jose Benavidez make it an interesting fight? I believe so. I believe that he will press Danny Garcia early. But if he is not careful, I believe that Danny Garcia will catch him, because remember, Danny Garcia is an excellent counter puncher. There again, Jose Benavidez, he says that he's not worried about Danny Garcia being an excellent counter puncher, which makes no sense. How can you be quote unquote, you're going to be aggressive, and you're fighting a great counterpuncher, and you're not worrying about him counterpunching you. So when Benavidez say stuff like that, that makes me think, okay, is he just fighting for the money? Like I said, the boy got 3 kids. He know, you know what I mean? David Benavidez, his brother, younger brother, he's the cash cow of the family. He's the premier, dominant, more skillful of the 2 brothers. He will have the better career. I mean, he already has the better career, and he's the younger brother. So this is Jose Benavidez. He's trying to get that bag while he can. That's what it looks like to me. Because if you are Jose Benavidez and you are fighting Danny Garcia, 2-division world champion, wants to be a 3-division world champion, has power, has intelligence. His only losses are to some of the top competitors in the game, Thurman, Sean Porter, Errol Spence. He's only lost to the best. He's defeated, I think, like 14, 15 former world champions. I mean, Danny Garcia is a great fighter. He comes from the fighting city of Philadelphia. I mean, Danny Garcia ain't no scrub, man. I said it time and time again. Philly don't raise no scrubs. Up and coming, Jaron Ennis. Danny Garcia also spoke about that. Like, look, and Danny Garcia is well aware of who Boots is. And I like how he kind of embraced the question, but somewhat avoided it, because Danny Garcia know that he don't want to fight Jaron Ennis. No, he's not only going to get embarrassed, but that could be the fight that forces Danny Garcia to retire. That's why it's one of the reasons why that he moved up to 54 and that he's going to campaign at 54 for a little while and let Boots stay at 147. Let him chop up and break up 147. He can fight Crawford. He can fight Spence. He can beat those guys. And anybody else that want to step up and try to rumble him, he will knock those dudes off too. That's what I like about Boots. And that's also going back to Spence versus Crawford. That's also, it's not being spoken about, but that's also making that fight difficult. Because look, if you are Terence Crawford, if you are Errol Spence, whoever wins that fight, and hopefully, I spoke about this before also, hopefully a rematch clause is in the contract, the initial contract, because I believe this fight has the makings to be a trilogy. Spoke about that also. And recently, Sean Porter, he backed my notion on that. He said this fight could be a trilogy. I heard nobody else talking, even Fight Hype, Fight Hub, some of the premier channels giving you guys the boxing. Like, I heard nobody talk about this fight possibly turning into a trilogy. Well, hey, trilogy, there you go. I ain't heard nobody talk about that. Hold up, what you say? Bro, it's not the money. PBC and Espinosa don't really want Errol Spence fighting Crawford. I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Espinosa, because you got to think, bro. Look, Steven Espinosa, he's backing Jaron Ennis. You know what I mean? So Steven Espinosa, not only he wants these guys to fight, but I believe he wants Boots to fight these guys, man. And I believe the money is there. I mean, you got to think, man, with sponsors, the gate, everything. Everybody is going to come out to see Spence versus Crawford, bro. Everybody. It doesn't matter which venue it's at. And but that's also, matter of fact, talking about venue, yo, that's one thing that I'm thinking about. Like, look, if this fight goes down, or if Crawford wants this fight to go down in Texas at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, would Bud trip about that? And people ain't talking about that. But I wonder if Bud would, because you know that's going to be everybody will be a Spence fan up in that bitch, cuz. So it's like, you know what I mean? But is Bud mentally strong enough to go up in there and fight Spence and fight the crowd? Because that's going to be a hell of a crowd. But at the same time, I think they're going to make it a neutral site. So I think we're going to have to take that out of it, man. But getting back to the money, I mean, like I said, PBC got bread, bro. And Bob Arum is still salty about Terence Crawford leaving. He tried to say certain things about the fight not happening. Look, that's the biggest fight in boxing in a decade, especially in the four-belt era. Terence Crawford, pound-for-pound champion. Look, come on, man, look. If this fight happens, which I believe it will, and hypothetically, let's just say Terence Crawford, if he becomes undisputed welterweight champion of the world, and just say hypothetically, he moves up to 154, as he said he would, and he fought Charlo. And if you know Charlo gonna be pissed if he beats Spence, and Charlo makes the fight with Terence Bud Crawford. And this is hypothetical. I ain't saying this is written in stone, so don't hold that against me. But hypothetically, what if Bud beats Charlo and becomes undefeated at 40, at 47, and at 54? I think Bud is going to retire. Bud is going to say, I'm going to holler at y'all niggas, man. I'm out. It ain't nothing else I need to do in the sport of boxing. I'm telling y'all, like, I spoke about this also. The people be sleeping on your boy, man. But I'm telling y'all, man, it's the reason why they be hating on your boy. What's he say, bro? That's true. Everyone's showing up for Spence versus Crawford. Perfect venue, Raiders Stadium. You know what? Raiders Stadium in Oakland. It's in Oakland, right? But you know what I'm saying? Like Raiders Stadium, gritty environment. You know what I'm saying? Gritty fan base. I don't know. That would be a nice venue, bro. That'd be a nice venue, man. That'd be Vegas. Vegas is traditional. Vegas, Madison Square Garden. But you know the Barclays Center, that's out there. I think for neutral ground, for the venue, it's probably gonna be, yeah, man, probably Vegas, probably Vegas or Maddie. It's probably gonna be at the Garden. You know what I'm saying? But that's also something that could be going on behind the scenes. It could be a bidding war as far as the venues, because that is going to bring a lot of revenue to wherever they do that. They do it in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? They do it at the Garden or wherever. That's going to bring a lot of money. So venues may be having a little low-key bidding war on where this fight is going to jump off. That's why I said, man, like this fight, it's like Pacquiao, hopefully, Lord willing, hopefully it don't take, this shit don't take long like Pacquiao and Spence. Hopefully it don't take that long. But that's one of the things that kind of hurt Pacquiao and Spence besides other factors. I mean, you just have two phenomenal names in the sport of boxing trying to go at it. And I believe Floyd, he poked his nose in and he said, okay, with the Spencer Crawford fight is going to be Nevada testing all the way throughout the, you know what I'm saying, all throughout camp, because it was people always talk shit because Errol be covered in the camp. And you know, Errol, he's big as shit. He come down to fight at 147. Errol walks around huge. You know what I mean? So when Errol come to camp, he got to cut weight a lot. So I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Like if Errol I ain't saying Errol is, don't get me wrong, but that's what people be saying and shit. People be throwing little jabs talking about Errol Derrick James be cooking up shit, you know what I'm saying? So Errol can cut weight because Errol be getting cut the fuck up like a bag of dope. You know what I'm saying? Errol be looking cut the fuck up for somebody to be coming into camp. And it'd be like his first couple of weeks or month of camp is like a fat camp sometime. But he was focused. After the eye injury, I will say that Errol didn't blow up. He had a nutritionist. He stayed in the gym. He was focused. He was working out. I mean, if he wasn't working out, man, Errol Spence was on the ranch. It was Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas where the Raiders play. Their new stadium. Okay. To be honest with you, man, like I ain't heard too much about their new stadium. But I will say, like, if just looking at the Raiders culture, Raider Nation, if any of those people in the city, any of those fans are boxing fans and they bring that energy to that, you know what I mean, to that location, that's gonna be huge. That's gonna be huge. But I really think they probably gonna make it somewhere neutral, bro. Like, probably, like I said, probably Vegas. You hit that on the head. Probably Vegas, or I'm thinking like Vegas or Madison Square Garden. I don't think it's going to be at the Barclays Center because this is going to be this fight is historic. First of all, so if you have an historic fight like this, like I said, this is potentially the biggest fight in a decade. In a decade, and plus it's two black fighters. I mean, I don't go get in the race, but it is. It's two brothers. It ain't, I mean, a Mexican going against a black guy or Puerto Rico going against Mexico. No, this is brother against brother. This is champion against champion. This is pound for pound against pound for pound. This is one belt, yes, against three. But the thing about Errol Spence's three belts, like Errol has held belts in one division. Bud has held titles in all his divisions. You know what I mean? So Errol, that's another thing that when Errol and whoever comes down to breaking up and chopping up that money over the bag, who's going to get the biggest percentage, you have to take all that into account. And Steven Espinosa, he talked about that. Now, Errol Spence, yes, he does have three belts. Errol Spence, he does do very good pay-per-view numbers, but Bud, he does pretty good numbers also. But Bud is a polished and accomplished and an awarded fighter in boxing. He's possibly already, you know what I mean, on his way to the Hall of Fame. So you can't just look at Bud just because you got more belts than he got and think that, I mean, you're going to get this dude 30, 40%. No, I believe money-wise, like it should be like I don't know, man. Like, it should be kind of close. It should be kind of close. And whoever wins the SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, where the celebrities are, bro, a fight like this, celebrities, as you say, they want to travel. It did, especially if it winds up being in Madison Square Garden. Man, I'm trying to tell you, y'all might see Jay-Z in the building. This fight might bring Jay-Z out. You might see Jay somewhere out there in the pews somewhere, you know what I'm saying, with Beyonce to watch this fight. Vegas, I don't know. It's a 50-50 fight. It is a 50-50 fight. But, and you can tell I respect you because a lot of people, they are not giving, I mean, be honest with you, man, some people are not giving Spence that credit and some people are not giving Bud that credit. Like, it's a 50-50 fight. This fight is not only a 50-50 fight, but it should be also a 50-50 cut. That's what makes this is a complicated fight to put together. So that's why people come out with all the fake news, man. And I understand why channels like to do it. Like I said, I'm a small channel, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm not obligated to any type of network, any type of this, any type of that. I keep it 100. If the fight is 50-50, I'm gonna talk about it like it's 50-50. I'm not going to say this. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say the third. But I will tell y'all this, and I'm going to keep it 100. Between Spence and Crawford, skill-wise, I believe that Terence Crawford is the more skillful fighter. He's the more skillful fighter. Yes, Errol Spence is a naturally bigger guy. I understand that. He has a fantastic jab. He cuts the ring off well. One of the, or if not the most devastating body puncher in boxing, besides I would say Canelo. But don't get it twisted, man. Bud also goes to the body very well. And like I said, skill-wise between the two, I just believe that Bud has more tools in the toolbox to defeat Errol Spence. And the fact that he can switch, I won't say that he's probably, because I believe that Jaron Ennis is a better switch hitter than Bud, but still, Bud, he can switch, and he's good in both stances, and he can pick you apart in both stances. The prime example of him using that ability is when he fought Gamboa. How about 60 to the winner and 40 for the loser? It will make for a better fight. That won't necessarily make for a better fight. That will make for a better financial narrative because naturally the 60% is going to go to Errol Spence. And I didn't tell y'all this, but check this out. Just look at what Devin Haney just did with George Kambosos. Devin Haney took less money. He took less money, y'all, And he went over there to Australia and he beat the hell out of George Kambosos. So much, in fact, that George Kambosos and company and country was like, damn. They try to fuck them up all type of ways. They try to keep his pop from coming over there to the fight. They try to get in Devin head. First, they try to do it with the money. Then they try to do it with his pop. And ain't none of that crap worked. Devin Haney went over there focused. He had Zab Judah. Shout out to Zab Judah father. He had him. He had a couple of other people from the camp. Devin Haney had it up here. So it's cool about the money, but see, Devin Haney understood, like, look, I will take the short end of the financial short end of the stick right now, because I know moving forward, because it's going to be a second fight. Everybody already knew that. It was already contractually in the atmosphere, in the boxing sphere. So we knew about that. So he knew, okay, I got to go over there and I got to beat this dude the first fight, because the second fight is what I'm going to eat. And Devin Haney already came out and he already said that. So now if Kambosos enough, if they can't come up with that change that Devin Haney will want, and they got to give it to him. That's the beauty about Kambosos Haney too. You're going to have to pay Devin Haney. And if y'all don't pay Devin Haney, then Devin Haney probably going to fight somebody else. And you know what I mean? Tank, they was already, you know what I mean? Talking about Tank and Haney fighting and all that. But for real, Haney can fight who he want. But to say that, like I said, it's the same thing with Spence and Crawford. Somebody, and probably keep it real with y'all, it's probably going to have to be Crawford. Yes, Spence is probably going to wind up getting more money, and Terence is going to have to humble himself. But Steven Espinoza, he made a very good point where, as I was saying, he's going to have to, or they all are going to have to still basically pay Terence Crawford. You still have to pay him. Like, you know, yeah, Errol's going to get more money, but you gotta make his package respectable. You can't give Terence Crawford peanuts. You know Errol's going to make more money, but you can't give Terence Crawford peanuts because, like I said, besides the contractual number that Terence is going to sign for, like I said, sponsors and all that, I mean, they are going to show up and they're going to pay Terence Crawford. They're going to pay Terence Crawford. So I don't see why that Terence Crawford wouldn't accept a Spence fight. So when people try to put that fake narrative out there like Terence Crawford is scared and all that, look, Terence Crawford has not reached the pinnacle of boxing, because don't get it twisted. Terence Crawford is at the pinnacle of boxing. He's one of the top guys. A lot of people say pound for pound, the best fighter in the world. Yes. You know what I mean? Canelo's up there too. A lot of people get that misconstrued trying to put one man at the top. That's why you have all these different divisions in boxing. You can't just have one man as pound for pound at the top. Crawford already done too much to take less than 50, 3 different weight classes, undisputed fighter of the year, and pound for pound. Exactly. Bud done put his work in. You cannot look at Terence Crawford and you can't just look at Errol Spence like, okay, let me get you Al Heyman. I fuck with you, Terence, but Errol, I mean, he's already with us. He's that guy too. You can't look at it like that. And I know Al Heyman is a smart businessman. He's a smart businessman. And I don't care what's his name, Bob Arum says. Bob Arum is salty as hell. He's salty as hell. Because when Terence Crawford got up on that stage post-fight and said, pretty much, I'm done. This is my last fight. I'm leaving Top Rank. You saw it in Bob Arum's face. He was salty as hell. And Bob Arum did not have high blood pressure in his life. He caught it instantly after the fight when Terence Crawford was on stage and he said that I'm leaving Top Rank. He caught high blood pressure instantly. I'm about to say Al Heyman. Bob Arum was salty-ish when Terence Crawford said that. He saw it and he's still salty. I just got finished talking about this. When Terence Crawford left Top Rank, he left a huge, as far as he's one of the best salute to the channel. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. Like I said, man, the channel was small. You know what I mean? A lot of people be hating on your boy. A lot of y'all favorite channels too, man. I ain't gonna say no names because I don't want nobody to be like, man, you just hating to try to get. Nah, man. If y'all follow Real Talk Live Sport, y'all know, like, your boy is, I do not lie on nobody. I do not put no clickbait and shit out. You know what I mean? So people can click on my videos. Like, we getting there from the mud. My channel has been hacked. My channel has been hated on. You know what I mean? But you know what? I have not given up. I still continue to fight. I still continue to post because I love the sport of boxing, man. It's more, I mean, to be a fighter, man, it's one of the most, I mean, it's the best job. It's the best job in the world, man. Because a lot of people go through all types of shit out here, bro. Every day in life, all walks of life. And people look up to these fighters because it's like they get strength. You know what I mean? They see what they go through in camp. You know what I mean? They see how they have to persevere. Your very essence of being a fighter is having that fighting spirit. And a lot of people, they don't have that. And they look at a lot of these guys, and that's where they get their fuel. That's where they get their drive, and that's where they get their passion. Like, boxing is a very dangerous sport. It's also a very dirty game. But I honor fighters. You know what I'm saying? I'm prior military. Like I said, I used to fight. I didn't fight professionally because, like I said, I keep it real with y'all, man. Like, your boy was in the streets. You know what I mean? So I was a knucklehead. So when I was in the gym, like I said, because I'm from Philly, you know what I mean? So when I was in the gym, like, they asked me, they was like, you want to fight professionally, or you just want to, like, train? You want to learn how to fight? And coming up, like I said, like, my mom, she had me, I used to do like martial arts, all that shit. And my pop was like, my pop took me to the gym one day when we was in West Philly, Schuler's, 43rd in Brooklyn. And he was like, I'm gonna take you to the gym to see Bus. And I was like, all right. I was like, well, the hell is that? And I went to the gym, and the chick I was dealing with too, you know what I'm saying? Like, her brother was also a fighter, you know what I'm saying? And guess what? He went to the same gym. And at the time, I didn't know that. But I went to the gym, and I lied to you not, y'all. Like, soon as I went up in the gym, and I looked around and shit, and I seen people working, and I was like, I might fuck with this boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the energy from that point on, I was hooked. I always liked boxing, but it's different, y'all, when you go into a ring or you go into a gym and then you learn how to fight. It's different. It changes you. You know what I'm saying? It's different from seeing it on TV or watching a YouTube channel. Like, once you learn how to really fight, it's different. So that's why, like, when I be looking at these guys and I be looking at these fighters, man, like, I be looking at them and I be breaking shit down from not only a fighter standpoint, but I like to look at these guys like if I was a trainer. You know what I mean? Like, I try to look at it from that aspect. That's how I personally try to break and dissolve a lot of what fighters do. You know what I mean? Like, their pros, their cons, what they're good at, what they bring to the table. Because, and shout out to Jose Benavidez, because he said something that was very good during the interview. He was like, even a bad fighter does something good. And I said, ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Because it's true. Even if you are a bad, quote unquote, bad fighter, you are still risking your life. You are still brave enough to step into that ring, quote unquote, to fight somebody who could possibly skill wise be better than you and put it all on the line. But even a bad fighter does something good. They just may not be known for it because people classify them as a bad fighter. So naturally, if you're classified as a bad fighter, you're not going to get publicity. You're not going to get camera time. People are not going to come visit you in the gym. People are not going to know who you are. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to Boots Ennis. Like, when he fought Castillo Clayton, man, people was like, who the hell is Castillo Clayton? You know what I mean? But Castillo Clayton, he fought. I mean, he fought. He been in there with some names. You know what I mean? But when he fought Jaron Boots Ennis, the skill was just light years apart. Even though Castillo Clayton been in the game longer, but when it comes to skill, that's the beauty about boxing, man. Skills, pay the bills. And Spence has skills. But Terence Crawford, his skills is just, I think he just got more in the bag. You know what I mean? He got more in the bag to beat Spence. And I think the only trump card that Spence probably has is his power. And because really for Spence to go to work and for him to dismantle Terence Crawford, like he has pretty much all of his other opponents, Terence Crawford is going to have to stand in front of Errol Spence. And Terence Crawford is not going to stand in front of Errol Spence and allow Errol Spence to chop him down to the body. He's not going to stand in front of Errol Spence and allow Errol Spence to dominate him with his superior jab. He's not going to do it. So if you take away those two weapons from Errol Spence and you put Errol Spence on a move, and Terence Crawford is more athletic than Errol. He's a better mover than Errol. So it being as though Bud can switch, he can fight off of the back foot very well. Bud can throw combinations off of the back foot also. Look what he did to Gamboa. You know what I'm saying? When Gamboa tried to press him and Bud was in the corner, Bud was backing up, piecing it out of Gamboa. You know what I mean? Moving backwards. The same thing is going to happen to Errol Spence. Errol was going to try to press him, and then Bud fighting off of the back foot. He's going to back, then he's going to shift, and then he's going to start turning. To see why he's doing this, he's going to be throwing shots. And Terence Crawford is just not a pop shot fighter. Like that shit the AB be doing. I love AB. If y'all go back and check out a couple of the videos that I just did, and I did it just like I told y'all, like in the videos, like I did it not to talk about Adrian Broner's losses, but I did it to show everybody, salute to the, thank you, my brother. Yes, sir. You know what I mean? To show, or to tell people like Adrian Broner's losses is what made Adrian Broner the fighter that he is today. When he fought Maidana, that first fight, that first loss, that first knockdown, him being hurt like that, emotionally, I'm telling y'all, man, emotionally and spiritually, that crushed Adrian Broner. He has not been right ever since that fight. He has not been right ever since that fight. He hasn't. He has been gun shy ever since that fight. When he fought Mikey Garcia, also RGBA pedigree. Mikey Garcia outboxed and beat the hell out of AB. You know what I mean? If AB was serious, he could be very, exactly. That's my whole point. If Adrian Broner did not have that fear, he has to get rid of that fear. Adrian Broner he's been carrying that fear throughout all his losses. And this is the funny part. AB got a chin. He has a chin. So I don't know why he's afraid to fight. AB got a chin. Because all the damage that Maidana did, y'all, think about it. He did knock him down multiple times. He did. But AB got up. And not only did AB get up, AB did not get stopped. He's never been stopped in his career. And he's never been knocked out. And all the damage that Maidana did, so if Maidana was fighting somebody else, Maidana would have stopped him or knocked him out. AB was the first to put poor hand down. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like AB, and he dropped, you know what I'm saying, Sean Porter. And it ain't easy, to drop Sean Porter as busy as he is. You know what I mean? And for real, Errol Spence, he kind of lucky that he dropped. And matter of fact, I gotta clean that shit up. He did not drop Sean Porter. A lot of people talk about, Errol knocking Sean Porter down. He ain't knocked Sean Porter down. AB was the first to put, Spence, when he caught Sean with that shot, he basically caught Sean Porter's momentum is what knocked him down. And his glove just touched the canvas. And we already know if the glove touched the canvas, that's a knockdown. But Errol Spence didn't put Sean Porter on his pockets. He didn't. AB put Sean Porter on his pockets. You know what I mean? AB sat him down. So AB has power, but AB be doing he be pop shotting a lot. It's like I said, he's become very gun shy. It's like he throws shots to let his opponent know that he's present. But at the same time, it's not like he is trying to, he ain't trying to hurt somebody. He's really not sitting on his shots because he's always ready to retreat when he throws shots because he doesn't want to get into an exchange. When he fought a 40-year-old Pacquiao, how can you, first of all, mentally, how can you go into that fighting Pacquiao thinking that you ain't gonna throw no damn punches? And even at 40 years of age, Manny is still throwing a lot of freaking punches, man. Manny is still a very good mover, even though he had them damn calf socks on because Manny was getting them cramps because he got them damn mountains for calves. But Manny is still a very good mover. Manny is still a very active puncher. More importantly, Manny still has power. So you cannot, if you Adrian Broner, you can't go into that fight and not throw no punches. And Manny Pacquiao, having a shorter reach, had the better jab, had the more active jab. Everything Manny was doing in that fight, he was starting out with the jab. When he caught AB in the 7th round with that left hand and damn near knocked AB down, if Adrian Broner did not have a chin, Manny would have dropped him. Another history lesson. Manny would have dropped him. But see, I spoke about this also. I gave AB his credit. Adrian Broner, he may not throw punches, but you know what? Adrian Broner, he comes into every fight in great shape. I will give him that. He does not bullshit. When it comes to training, when it comes to going to the gym and really locking in and doing what you're supposed to do, AB don't be bullshitting. And I give him that. The cool thing about Crawford is that he can do what he wants to do. Look, he stopped Porter. Hold on. Oh, man. I couldn't finish reading that shit, man. But I'm trying to answer to just to what my brother said, man. I think he was saying something. I'm gonna say like, okay, you were saying like Crawford can do what he want to do. Now, I would say this. Terence Crawford is like Floyd. Like he starts to download that information from round one. And with the skill set that Terence Crawford has, once he starts to download that information, and depending upon what is the looks that his opponent is giving him, yes, Terence Crawford can do what he want to do. And if you don't have the skill in order to stop that, then you're in trouble. He will systematically break you down, and he's going to get you up out of there. Look, he stopped Sean Porter. Yes, Errol Spence beat Sean Porter, but I'm going to tell y'all this. If Errol didn't make Sean Porter glove touch the mat, Sean Porter could have won that fight. He could have won easy. Sean Porter caught Spence with some shit. When you seen Errol Spence after that fight, and I be telling people this all the time, then they go back and then they watch the fight and like, damn, yo, you was right. I know I was right. I don't be lying on nobody, man. The truth will set you free. You go back and you watch that fight, and you watch after the fight when they was about to, raise everybody's hand or whatever, or they was trying to figure out who would their hand raise. And you look at you look at Porter, and you look at Errol Spence. Errol Spence didn't know if he was going to win, y'all. Matter of fact, you saw, if you ever wanted to see how doubt looks on Errol, the truth, Spence face looks, you watched the end of Spence Porter when he was in the ring. You look at Errol's face, and he knew that it was a possibility that he was going to lose. That's why when they said that he won, you seen this dude like he was fucking Mufasa in the Lion King. This dude started yelling and roaring and shit because he knew. I can't even say he got away with one. I can't even say Tyson Fury that fight. You know what I'm saying? Because he did fight a good fight, but it was a close fight. And he knew that Sean Porter could have beat him. That's why to this day, Sean Porter still he still got some bragging rights behind that fight. Because yes, I did lose. This is if you Sean Porter. Yes, I did lose. But you know what? A lot of people know that I could have won. And see, that is what makes a great fight. When you have two fantastic competitors, when you have a super explosive fight, and no matter who loses the fight, you still won. That is a great fight. That is a great fight. When even a loser wins, like when Tank Davis fought Isaac Cruz. Like, everybody thought that Isaac Cruz was going to go into that fight and get mudded. They didn't give Isaac Cruz a chance. But Isaac Cruz, man, who the fuck is that? Like, who the fuck is this guy? Man, Tank about to mud this dude. Tank about to muddy. What happened? Isaac Cruz went into that fight, and he fought a hell of a fight. You know what I'm saying? He fought a hell of a fight. And to this day, I became a fan of Isaac Cruz in that fight, man. Isaac Cruz is a hell of a young fighter, man. I love it. I love his style. He gets down in the trenches, and he goes to work. You know what I mean? And you saw after the fight what Tank said. I still have the quote in one of my photos that I done used in various videos. Gervonta Tank Davis, he went on record and said, he said, tonight, a star was born. And you look, after that fight, you seen Isaac Cruz pedigree and stock has went up. You know what I mean? His fights, competition has gotten better. His notoriety, everybody, you know what I mean? When Isaac Cruz is training for a fight, now you starting to see the fight hypes and all these different channels. Now you starting to see people go around and they got, you know what I mean? They interviewing the boy before. They wasn't doing that. You didn't know who Isaac Cruz was. That's why I said, man, that's why boxing is not only a beautiful game, but it doesn't matter who you are. Everybody got a chance. Everybody got a chance. If nobody thinks that you can win the fight, if you know that you can win the fight, that's all that's important. I don't give a fuck what the media say. I don't care what shit. I don't even fuck what the fans say. I don't even talk what my mama say. If I feel as though that I can go into this fight and I can beat this man, that's all I need. That's all I need. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at when Bivol fought Canelo. When Bivol fought Canelo, like, they was interviewing Bivol, and Bivol was like, yes, Canelo, he's a great fighter. He's a great fighter. Yes, he is. But he's just a man. He's just a man, like me. And I said, you know what? This dude will be a problem. This motherfucker will be a problem. I said, Canelo, and guess what happened? He went in there and fucked Canelo up. Yo, you look at the weigh-in when Bivol was on the stage and he was looking at Canelo like, motherfucker, I'm not impressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck what these people be saying. You a man, and see, when you have that mentality, that's hard to beat. Because that's a lot of people, that's why they say, like, your mental is the larger percentage of winning a fight. Yes, you got to train. Your skill level has to be up there. But see, your mind, your mind has to be set. If your mind is right, that's half the battle. What they say, knowing is half the battle. If you know that you can beat the guy, if you really have belief in yourself and your skills and your abilities and your toughness, that is very hard to beat. And a lot of people, they go into fights and they feel confident because they train well for the fight. But mentally, it's something different. Your mental confidence, if your mental confidence is at the same level as your physical confidence and your spiritual confidence, that's when you can pretty much say, I already won a fight. That's when a fighter goes into that ring like, I already won this shit. Like, and the first fighter that comes to my mind that has that, he has all those balances checked. That's why he has that confidence is Lomachenko. That's why Lomachenko be beating the hell out of and embarrassing dudes, because it's like mentally, his mind is already over here. His mind is light years away and ahead of his opponent. So now I just have to sharpen my skills. I have to hone my skills. But mentally, I done beat this dude already. Like it's like a chess player. You know what I'm saying? It's like a great chess player or great, you know what I'm saying? Like you think 5 moves, 2 moves, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 moves ahead. You're not just playing your opponent 1 move at a time. No, you're anticipating your opponent's next move. What is he going to do? Okay, see, if he moves this rook here, I can cut him off with my bishop here. You know what I mean? Like you thinking 2, 3, 4, 5 moves ahead. And in boxing, a great boxer, they do the same thing. That's why fighters like Floyd, you know what I'm saying? Floyd is probably the first one that comes to mind that I can think of. If you want to say new school, I will probably say definitely Lomachenko, you know what I mean? Like Boots, I seen Boots, he also has that ability also. Boots, that's what I'm telling y'all, man. Like Boots is, and I'm not just saying that because we both from Philly. Let's take that shit out. Let's separate that fact. For Jaron Boots Ennis to be young, for him to be young and that skillful, and for some of the top guys in the sport to know that he is a threat, that says a lot about his future. That says a lot about where Jaron Boots Ennis is going to be in 1 year. Fuck 2 years. Where he's going to be in 1 year. That's why Spence versus Crawford is so important. They have to get this fight done. More importantly, besides them getting this fight done, I'm telling you, y'all, if I was Spence, if I was a part of his management team, if I was a part of Bud Crawford's management team, I'll be like, look, we got to make this a trilogy. Because look, Errol wants to move up to 54. Terence wants to move up to 54 and fight Charlo. So guess what? Y'all can fight at 147 and possibly go to 154 and fight again. You know what I mean? If Terence goes to 154 and fights Charlo, hypothetically, and knock him off, and Errol Spence move up to 154, Errol ain't going like that. So now he could possibly fight Bud again for the titles at 154. So these dudes can fight at 147 and 54, but they're gonna have to do something because now Boots is the IBF mandatory, and they talking about Keith Thurman being the WBC mandatory. So how they should do it is they need to fight. This is Spencer Crawford. They need to get that and contractually be obligated for the rematches so they can fight. And then once these 2 dudes is out the way, then they relinquish the titles. You know what I mean? And let's just say Boots. He gets his shot, he gets his belt. Then him and Thurman fight. Because Boots also called out Keith Thurman a long time ago. And Keith Thurman tried to act like he didn't know who the hell Jaron Boots Ennis was. But then he learned and he wised up real quick. Like, hold up, this is okay, now I know who this young brother. Oh, okay, yeah, he got skill, yeah. Trust me, Keith Thurman know who Boots is. He tried to play that shit down like he didn't know who Boots was because he know that Boots want that smoke. And see, when people talk about this guy is a step-up fight or Jaron Boots Ennis is not ready for this guy, he's not ready for this guy, he's not ready for that guy. If Boots is saying that I'm ready for this person, he's been calling these dudes out for years. For years, he's been calling these guys out. So if Boots himself is calling these dudes out saying that he's ready, how can anybody say that he's not? How can you say he hasn't fought anybody? Okay, the reason why he hasn't fought anybody, because nobody wants to fight him. You can only fight, he literally can only fight who they put in front of him. Literally. Because people know that when you put somebody in the ring with Boots, it's a high probability you will be getting knocked out. You look at his knockout ratio, over 90%. Matter of fact, you look at his fights, period. Nobody gets past the 6th round. That's why when he fought Vera Herden, and that fight had to end due to the headbutt, no contest and all that, that fucked up the streak. You know what I mean? But Boots, he was known for getting people up out of there by the 6th round. Like if you are his opponent and it's round 5 going into round 6, and you coming out that corner, you have it in the back of your mind, it's a possibility I'm about to get knocked out or stopped. That's how dangerous Boots is. That's how real his skill and his ability is. So Keith Thurman, yes, he looked good against Mario Barrios, but in my opinion, that ain't saying nothing. Mario Barrios came up, I mean, he was a lightweight coming up. So Keith Thurman did what he did exactly what he was supposed to do. But I will give Keith Thurman credit because he looked in better shape than he has been in a while because he's injury prone. So also to point that out, if you Keith Thurman, it doesn't matter if the WBC puts you as the number one mandatory because truth of the matter is you don't stay healthy. So if you fight Errol Spence, hypothetically, let's say hypothetically Thurman fights Spence and he beats him and he becomes a champion. Now, do you think that Keith Thurman is going to fight top competition? No, he's going to try to drag that shit out because he knows that if he fights top competition, who you think is next up? Either Crawford or Boots. And he loses both of those fights. So Keith Thurman is not going to be in a rush to fight somebody if he becomes or happens to beat Errol Spence and becomes the WBC champion. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. So that's why you should feel gracious the fact that they cheated Boots and Virgil and fucking leapfrogged him over both of those young lions. Still don't know how the WBC did that. But like I said, this is boxing. Boxing's like a Twilight Zone. Strange and mysterious things happen. That's why you gotta be paying attention. And more importantly, you can't believe everything that you hear and you see and you smell. Because your senses will cheat you and rob you in the sport of boxing. But it ain't it ain't gonna happen, y'all. You know what I'm saying? With Spence, with Thurman trying to fight Spence, it ain't gonna happen. Between Spence and Crawford, that is the fight to make at 147. That's it. And if that fight is not made between Spence and Crawford, the only person I want to see Spence or Crawford fight is Boots. That's it. Because Thurman and Danny Garcia said, he said, like, if he was like, Thurman ain't been the real one time. He ain't been one time since 2017. He ain't been one time since 2017, period. Now, yes, he looked good. He looked in good shape when he fought Mario Barrios. But like I said, that's Barrios. You know what I mean? Mario Barrios, he ain't had a weight. He ain't had a strength to go in there and really fuck with Keith Thurman. And Keith Thurman still couldn't put him away like that. So Keith Thurman, I think Keith Thurman at the point of his career, he definitely trying to have some good fights. But at the same time, I believe he's working on his retirement plan, period. He's working on his retirement plan because these new guys coming up, and it's not just the welterweight division, man. You look at, the welterweight division, lightweight, middleweight, heavyweight, you know what I'm saying? Like you in damn near in all these divisions, man, like you have some talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, with the lightweights, you know what I mean? Now you got Frank Martin. You know what I'm saying? So now you got Tank name ringing bells. You got Devin Haney's name ringing bells. Rolly name is ringing bells because, like I said, he wanted to fight Tank, did fight Tank, got knocked out by Tank, had the audacity to say, okay, I'm about to move up to 147 to fight Errol Spence. You tripping. So Rolly is, when it comes to the lightweights, skill-wise, nah. But Frank Martin is going to be a problem, man. He's going to be a problem. Frank Martin is nice. And for Errol Spence, for that to be his first fighter that he signed to his promotional company, I think he got a gem. But like I said, the lightweights, man, you got Keyshawn Davis, you know what I mean? He's a problem, you know what I mean? You got Shakur Stevenson, and they probably gonna be moving up to 35, you know what I mean? Teofimo, I think his next debut is gonna be at 140. So he's out of the lightweights, you know what I mean? But Teofimo is also somebody that I'm looking forward to I want to see how Teofimo will be looking. You know what I mean? Because going back to the mental, he had the health situation when he fought Kambosos, like with his larynx or something like that. Like his esophagus, he had a tear in his esophagus, and they were saying that he could have died and all this kind of shit. So, I mean, look, when people try to get that bag, and when you have championships on the line and all this kind of stuff, man, it's like boot skills are ready now. I just would like to see him fight a top 5 for, yeah, you know, and just how you feel about wanting to see Boots fight a top 5 competitor, he wants the same thing. That's my whole point. You know what I mean? Like the fans want to see Boots fight a top 5 competitor, and the top 2 competitors. Matter of fact, it's so bad. Check this out, y'all. And if you guys watch the boxing interviews and all that, like I do, when you see when you see Errol Spence get interviewed, and you see them ask Errol Spence about Jaron Boots Ennis, it's getting to the point now that Spence be getting mad. Errol be getting mad. Like, why the fuck is they always asking me about this dude, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he nice, but damn, like, what the fuck? Like, Errol be getting frustrated when they be asking him about Jaron Boots Ennis. Matter of fact, talking about that, when Frank Martin, when he just beat Jackson, you know what I mean, in this last fight, after the fight, when they interviewed Errol Spence, and before they could even ask Frank Martin about the fight, you know what I mean? Like Errol, he jumped in, was like, no. You know, he wouldn't even let him finish the freaking question. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know, y'all. I'm telling y'all, like, they know that's how bad it is. That's why Errol and Bud, like, their time at the top is ticking away. As far as the age, and as far as it's just their time to move on. Both of these guys are in their 30s. You know what I mean? So you can't age Boots out because y'all getting older. He's still young. You know what I mean? So you can't age him out of the division. You can't do it. And the fact that skill-wise and rank-wise, he is literally right behind y'all. So you are going to have to fight this guy within the next year. At this point, it's not even the next year or two. It's going to be within the next year. You know what I mean? So if they don't fight Boots, I don't think they'll fight Boots this year. But next year, depending upon what they do and they rematch and all that kind of shit, like they will have to fight Boots because he is a mandatory. And Keith Thurman, I don't give a damn what you say about what you're doing in the WBC. You're not going to get your shot at Errol. It ain't going to happen. You'll have a better shot at trying to fight Crawford. And Crawford, we already know what he want. He want to fight Spence. And like I said, when they fight, most likely it's going to be a rematch clause. I don't know if it will be a trilogy, aka a trilogy, but it should definitely be a rematch. So they're going to be locked up for at least 2 fights. So next year, Boots is going to fight either Thurman, Spence, or possibly Crawford. But he should, because remember, y'all, when he signed the deal with Showtime to fight this year, I believe he's like, within a year, he's supposed to have like 3 fights. You know what I mean? So he's going to fight again before this year is up. Matter of fact, I don't know if y'all follow Boots on Twitter, but he's been posting fight day coming soon. So apparently him and Steven Espinoza, Steven done told him some shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, and he already said it. He's either his coach / father, Bozy Ennis, you know what I'm saying? They already say either they're going to fight Thurman or they're going to fight Stanionis. And Stanionis is nice, but I'm telling y'all, the way that people look at Stanionis, when he fights Boots, they're not going to be looking at Stanionis the same. Like, that's what Boots, he does to these guys, man. Like, when Boots fight these dudes, Like their careers don't be looking the same once they step in there with Boots, because it's like everybody thought they was this, but then they go in there and fight Boots, and Boots had these dudes looking like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. You know what I'm saying? You look at when he fought, and to this day, I love and I respect Sergey Lipinets, because when he went in there and he fought Boots and he got the shit beat out of him, but I still respect and salute him because he said some real shit. After the fight, Lipinets was like, you know what, man? He said, it ain't nobody going to step up and fight this young guy. And I said, if that ain't some shit right there, cuz that's when you know a fighter is a real one. And I knew Sergey was a tough guy, but after the fight, he went on and he ain't wait for no days to get his mind because he was embarrassed. No, the night of the fight, man, he took to Twitter and he said, you know what, man? He was like, man, he gave Jaron his props and everything. And he said, you know what, man? He said, like, it ain't nobody talking about the top guys. He said, it ain't nobody going to fight this young guy. You know what I'm saying? Because they know if they fight this young guy, he's going to beat the hell out of him. It may be a great fight. And between Spence and between Crawford, I believe the difficult fight will be with Crawford. Because I think that he beat Spence fairly easily. I'm telling you, like, a lot of people like, you think he beat, I'm telling y'all, like what Boots can do and the way Errol's style is, Errol is a master of the fundamentals. You know what I mean? But Boots is also a master of the fundamentals, and he's a slick fighter, and he does a lot of different shit in the ring. He's super athletic. His footwork is incredible. His movement is incredible. He will literally pick Errol apart. Boots is talented enough to beat Errol at his own game. He probably will wind up in spots walking Errol Spence down, going down to the body, coming up top. You know what I mean? Switching, shifting his weight, catching him with the hook. I'm telling you, man, like Boots is going to use Errol's style against him. Crawford is going to be a different animal. That'll be a little bit more tactical between him and Boots because they can both switch. And in that fight, they probably will, the switching sequence will be a lot. But a lot of people don't know, but Boots, when he switches, this is the difference between, this is why Boots is a better switch hitter. When Boots switches, he doesn't do it. Like, he doesn't have a conscious thought and say, you know what, I'm about to switch to give him a different look. He doesn't do that. When Boots switches, he does it naturally in motion. That's the difference between him and Crawford. When Bud switches to southpaw, it's when he got hurt. When Terence gets hurt, look at Bud's fights. If y'all know and y'all watch Bud's fights, y'all know. When he fights Terence Crawford, when he fights somebody and he gets hurt, he switches to southpaw. And when he switches to southpaw, that's when everything changes. So with Bud, it's like when he switches to southpaw, he switches to bully mode, because then that's when he starts to press his opponents. You know what I mean? He starts to get a little more gritty. You know what I mean? I think that's dog. When Bud switches to southpaw, that's dog mode. When Boots switches to southpaw, it's just natural. He doesn't even know that he switches. And when somebody is that fluid in their style, that's dangerous. So that means anywhere in the ring, it's hard to set him up for traps. And if you try to press him and you try to cut off the ring, you have to be careful, because any way they shift and they move throughout the ring, they can execute their offense. You can't put them in you can't put them in the defensive set by pressing them, by shifting them, by turning them, because his movement is just too good. It doesn't matter where Boots moves in the ring. He can execute his offense from anywhere in the ring, from any foot, from any stance. And he has power in both hands. So I'm telling y'all, man, like, Boots he's like one of those generational talents, just like Floyd was, and right now with the new school of guys, like right now, like Boots is that new generational talent, man. Just like you don't see dudes like, and you ain't gonna see another one, you ain't gonna see another Boots, because Boots he's big just like Spence. He's as skillful as Crawford. So when he fights both of these guys, it's like it's nothing they'll be able to bring to the table that Boots can't match him with. Nothing. So he's going to be able to dominate just like he has been dominating at 47. And he's a big guy. So he's going to be able to move up to 154, do the same thing at 154, then clear 154 out, move up to 160, do the same thing in middleweight, you know what I mean? And move up to 68, and he's going to do the same thing. And these ain't my words. These is his words. That is and he wants to do it in that order. He wants to literally clear every division out. And once he gets everything at 47, he's not going to linger around because he accomplished his goal. He accomplished his mission. He's going to leave 47 and go right to 54. That's what makes him dangerous, man. So that's why I said, like, Jaron Boots Ennis is a hidden narrative in the Spence versus Crawford saga, because the fact that he is on both of their heels really, I ain't gonna say it perplexes the situation, but if you are Terence Crawford, or if you're Errol Spence, or if you're their management or their team, you have to tell them, like, look, how long really are you going to be campaigning at this weight? Because you have to look at these young guys coming up. More importantly, you have to look at the guys just right behind you. And the guys just right behind Bud Crawford and Errol Spence is Virgil Ortiz and Boots. And to be honest with you, Virgil Ortiz is super explosive, has great power, but Virgil, he ain't ready for Boots neither. And him and his pop know it. I would say Virgil got a good chance. Him and Errol will be a good fight. Errol beats him, but style-wise, him and Errol Spence would be a good fight. Crawford would knock Virgil out. Boots would definitely destroy him. But him and Errol Spence, that would be a good fight at 47. I don't think he'll get that opportunity, but as far as the top guys and the up-and-coming guys, I will give Virgil Ortiz. He would give Errol Spence problems. But I believe Errol Spence ultimately will. I think Errol can stop Virgil. He can stop him. Definitely can stop him. But just to like I said, wrap this up, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, man, salute to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all coming, man. Y'all definitely been smashing the likes, man. I appreciate that, man. If y'all haven't subbed up to the channel, man, appreciate y'all, man. Visit the channel, man. Sub it up. Go into the archives. Check the videos out, man. Watch them. You know what I mean? Share them. All that good stuff. But I'm just going to touch on the real quick because tonight is fight night. Somebody go win night. And Garcia, Benavidez, that is the fight. The fight is tonight. And like I said, Danny Garcia, I believe that he will get the knockout against Jose Benavidez, 6-9. I believe that Benavidez will go down if it goes the distance. I will be surprised because I don't see this fight going the distance. If Danny Garcia is conditioned for this fight, which he always comes in great shape, but he is moving up. So this is new. And physically, he looks in good shape, looks strong, but your condition is a different factor. We can only see that once the fight takes place and once the fight get past the mid rounds and we start to move to the championship rounds, we start to see who has the better condition. And I believe that Benavidez, as the fight goes on, physically, his conditioning may be a factor, but his leg, his knee, that's going to be, I believe, as the fight progresses with the constant movement and the pressure, I believe that could play a factor in the later rounds of the fight. So if Benavidez is going to be successful in that fight, I think he has to be successful, and he needs to try to be successful early. If he is successful early, I believe that'll give him a great chance. If the fight happens to go late, and then it comes down to a decision, but if he can capitalize early, then I believe he's going to be in trouble. And like I said, that's just going to just further press the motive of Danny Garcia possibly stopping him and knocking him out to the mid to the late rounds. You know what I mean? But the fight is going to be a great fight. I believe Danny Garcia, and you know what? I want to say the left hook is going to give him problems, but I believe it was. But I think Danny is going to catch him with something else. It might be a right hook or it might be a body shot. I'm telling y'all, it might be a right hook. Look for that right hook or a body shot to be the deciding punch for Garcia versus Benavidez. We all know about the left hook. We all know, especially the no hook left hook. You know what I mean? If there's anybody can knock somebody out with their eyes closed, it's Danny Garcia with that damn left hook. But I believe his right hook or a body shot is going to seal the deal against Benavidez. I could be wrong, but I could be right. So man, I appreciate y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, sub me up. But more importantly, man, like I said, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all taking the time to listen. I hope you guys enjoy the fight. Like I said, I'm about to be doing more streams, man. So it's good, you know what I mean, that you guys came around. But sub up, turn the notifications on, so when I do these lives, y'all can join up and we can have great conversations just like we just got finished having, so we can get more people to join, so we can get more people involved, you know what I mean, so you guys can join the family. Because like I said, man, I'm one of the realest dudes on here doing it. No affiliation to none of these different people. I ain't no clickbaiting, you know what I mean? I will always keep it 100. I will always tell the truth. And when you fuck with me, that's what y'all dealing with. You know what I'm saying? The name says it all, man. Real talk. You know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Talk Nature Stand Up is your boy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And you already know how I play. Share the truth. I'm going to holler at y'all, man. Peace, man. Man, somebody else is joining, yo. Hey, man, I'm going to tell you what. If y'all want me to chill, you know what I mean, stay on for another, you know what I'm saying, like 10 minutes, man, y'all drop a comment, and I mean, give me a thumbs up in the comment if y'all want me to stick around or something. You know what I mean? But I don't know how long we been going, man, because ain't no time. Oh, yeah, over an hour. So if y'all want to keep on talking, man, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all let me know what y'all want to keep talking about. If not, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. All right.